manager's office. And I was a manager once. I had an office like this, and I reported child molestation and kidnapping, well, as a manager, inside their management system. So they had a process where they would go to court for every set of documents, and so they would ask the managers for their instructions or given instructions. And I was reading it, and I was given instructions and recording the instructions given, and I'm like, what the fuck, that amounts to a crime. and so how I mentioned, like, the unions aren't the law. If the law says any entity that assumes they're the law has committed a crime, there's no such thing as an entity assuming the law from a response of the military who assumes their law. There's no such thing at all. The law says it's completely impossible. And when you commit kidnapping, or when you committed a false arrest is kidnapping. False arrest is physically kidnapping in all fashions and a sex crime. And so when you commit kidnapping, the law says in employment they lie about labor and try to keep the kidnapping status quo going. And that's what the U.S. Code says. That's what it explains. And that's where it's written and how it's written. And so they ask a question. I'm like, no, this is fucking child molestation and kidnapping. So when the manager gets to court and you say these managers have given these law fashions, you tell them to say that. As spiritual kidnapping by the prosperity. So what it is specifically what it is because the unseen is illegal in court, and this is what the unseen will build. Here's a placement here, and this is a place on earth. So this would be USA. There's a place right here, and that would be a place on earth. So this would be Canada. There's a place right here, and that's a physical place on earth. So this would be China, and such. And then they ask for a legal response, and they commit kidnapping. So where you put the legal response here, they claim your persons was committing a crime over here in this physical place. And it's really them. They're kidnappers in court, and they've used court documents. And so they try to use their court document as a physical representation. And it's a federal crime. And it's the federal crime of kidnapping that the military is supposed to murder to prevent, and the agency of the FBI is supposed to arrest and investigate. So I'm like, oh fuck no, that's what this is. It's like the third question in. I'm like, oh fuck, that's this. And I like pulled out the dictionary, I worded it exactly as it's defined in law, and I sent it to them. And here I am in Tennessee, and they're like, oh, you're a criminal, we don't got fucking nothing. You are a spiritual child molester, claiming that there's something unseen. You know, there's a part of me, there's a woman that fucking uses my genitals, or there's a man that uses my anus, and none of that is the truth, nor is it plausible, and it's a crime, and it's specifically this crime. And the law says, because all people are innocent until proven guilty, that guilt is proven by my persons. So I'm not gay. Guy behind me is guilty. I'm not married. Woman in front of me is guilty. And that's physically what the law says. The unseen is illegal. I could prove that I'm not within the unseen. I don't take part in none of those. The cops in command. And that's what the law says. And that's what I said to the business. I was like, oh no, that's what this is. You guys need to claim not in command. And, you know, this cop criminal lie of warrant, this cop criminal lie of business, you know, and, whether or not they perceive it that way, there's another perception of what I said. There's not a perception of what I said in any fashion. but there's a receiving of what I've said on their side, so there's a perception of it. It can't be received separate from what it is, and that's why I said it. They can deliver it separate from its perception and such, which are the tenses of law. There's no such thing as saying what someone intends, which is this guy, this from White Bison, was. I need to get a job there. If that shit's not illegal, I just watched him walk out of court through the FBI, through the U.S. Marshal, with a